Okay, I always want to say that. Can I do it?
You want to do it?
I forget what you said. Welcome. This is another episode of Living with Dan and Danny.
Yo.
I am your host, Dan, and as always in front of me, this is Danny. How you doing, brother?
Bless King. How you doing?
I'm good. This is so awkward doing the intro. I never do it. We have two distinguished guests, very lovely ladies. Would you mind introducing yourselves?
Hey, I'm Ro.
Hey, I'm Sierra.
Could you tell us one fun fact about yourself? And hold on, before you, I'm not hosting this whole episode, just over here. This is your role, brother. No, this is tough. The first 3 seconds, it's tough. One fun fact about yourselves. Y'all ain't interested? Y'all got nothing?
You a doctor, girl. What you talking about? You ain't got no fun. You got some fun fact. You don't see a lot of black, I don't know no black doctors outside of you.
I'm a pharmacist. I have my doctorate.
I'm a teacher. I have my bachelor's.
The creativity is unmatched. It's unmatched. What grade do you teach?
I teach 7th grade math.
7th grade math. Dang. Can you see us?
I hate it.
Okay. I hope your students aren't listening, but.
Why do you hate it? You just don't like kids?
Yeah, I like kids, but I feel like the kids I deal with are on 10 every day. Every day.
Are you teaching like algebra?
Yeah, algebra. Dang, y'all put me on the spot.
It's your
job.
You know algebra, 7th grade math stuff, you know.
Sound like you need to be the one in the class. Shit, I don't know. I just be there.
I'll be there. You give out a lot of homework, man?
No, I'm not that type of teacher.
You're a good teacher. You doing virtual learning right now for teaching?
No, well, we're doing virtual and in the classroom. So I have some students that are at home and some that come to school.
Is that easier?
No,
Oh.
I hate it. Because kids don't be zooming in like they're supposed to, so.
Do you like Markham absent then?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But technically, we can't give them lower than a 50, so.
50's pretty low. You only give me a 49? Now you petty. Why you being so petty right now, teacher?
Well, shout out to, black pharmacists, black educators. Y'all are appreciated.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all. We got a bunch of things that we can talk about, but I think we should start with your Twitter, because that's what intrigued us to want to bring you on here, because you be wilding sometimes. So especially when it comes to the faithful black male community. So.
Yeah. I think it's very important that we get your perspective on men, relationships, what you've been through, all that. Maybe we can help you provide some insight.
Two gold card carrying members of the faithful black male society.
I've had my membership for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's newer, but he's in there. He's in there though. That's all that matters.
So I say, how long has Danny been in this organization?
What am I? About 8 months in,
He's actually on probation. We're trying to get him in. He's in, but not all the way yet. We're gonna get him there, man. It's gonna take some time. It's not the point. It's not the point here. We just want to see what's up. See if we can give like some male perspectives to some things that's going on in your life, and maybe if we can educate some young women on things maybe not to do when dating.
Pull the tweets.
You gotta do it on your phone. My phone's recording.
100%.
Well, can't pull them, but we will post some.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
for context purposes only.
I don't even remember half the stuff I be saying.
All right, let's start out with relationships. I feel like I see a lot of why do men do this? Why don't men do this? What is your perspective on men? Do you think there are any good men out here? Like, what's your perception right now?
I know it's good men out here, it's just,
It's what?
a select few.
A select few.
Yeah.
Have you had a hard time finding them? Hard time keeping them? Or what's what?
Can't keep someone that don't want to be kept.
Ooh.
So define what a good man is. Let's start there.
Someone that's faithful.
That's easy for a black man.
Yeah.
We with you.
A God-fearing man. Someone that can keep a job.
I mean, it's COVID season, but I mean, that's what I get what you're trying to say. Okay.
I'm just spectating.
She's here. She's our human
like
lie.
she
She's our human lie detector test.
So I know that there are a lot of men out there that's like that. But I feel like you have maybe. Do you have a type?
I did, but it don't work out with my type, so.
Oh,
yeah.
let's start. Let's examine. Let's
I got
take out
time.
the show and dig a little bit deeper. You know. So let's talk about what the type was.
And why you think it didn't work?
Yeah.
I used to like tall, you know,
What's your definition of tall, real quick?
Taller than you.
like over 6 foot.
See, that's greedy. Can we pause right there? That's the first thing.
Exactly.
How tall are you?
5'2".
So what would it hurt to date a 5'8" man? He's 6 inches taller than you.
Right.
Like, literally, what are you gonna do? With
Like you literally gotta go like this.
Exactly. That's a whole other. Not was it?
Well, we got. Hey, man.
You hugging you at his waist? Like, how is that? That's selfish, okay? Cause that hurts. To be that tall and to lean over and hug like that, it's inconsiderate. But it's just the beginning.
I mean, because I'm very short, so, you know, I'm thinking kids-wise, I want kids with some type of height.
I mean,
You know, not surgery you can get by. You can probably pick a kid at the time you start having kids. Hey, I want my kid to be 6'2", you know what I'm saying? Curly hair. You can probably program that shit by the time we have kids. For real.
alright, you want to be tall, but you can get a 6 foot man. He can still be short. Your kid can still be short. To be fair.
That's
Facts.
true, because I am short, so.
My dad is 6 feet. My mom is 5 feet.
Catch by surprise.
5'8". Yeah. My grandfather is 6'3".
I know you was pissed, huh?
I thought I'd be taller, but
Fair, fair. Well, I got a cousin. He's 6'1". My shoe size is bigger than his. I'm like, I was told like if your foot is big, you're gonna be tall, like to match it. No, it's bigger. He's taller. I'm pissed.
So how tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
Oh, I mean you're almost there.
Yeah.
I'm almost in my shoes. I'm 6. And don't let me get my Timbs out in the winter time. But that's another story. But carry on. All right, so you like tall. You know, tall can be 5'8", but you want 6 foot and higher.
My tall is not high, but for you, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, my blue thing I got now, he's not 6 foot.
shout him out.
So now you changed your perspective.
So how tall is he?
Um,
You gonna say 5'4", I bet.
oh, is he?
He a little nigga. I know he is.
It's okay. That's why he ain't been around. Listen, hold on. Listen, your family ain't gonna judge you. Love is love. They wanna see you happy.
Look,
Okay?
Mama gonna be like,
He's not
They're
little.
like, where the rest of them?
He's not little.
the little boy did it.
You got a kid?
He's not little, but he's little. You know.
It's okay. It's okay. He's a man. Okay?
Exactly.
That's all that matters.
As a smaller frame man, you know, I appreciate that.
And I appreciate you switching it up and giving
Yeah.
something else a try. So initially, like tall man, what?
Yeah, they ain't work out.
Okay. What else?
I don't know. I wanted somebody that can put me in my place. I still haven't been put in my place.
So a man's man.
But-
She has little man syndrome.
So what is it about? First of all, what's your definition of being put in your place? And second of all, what is it about that?
Cause typically I run the relationships.
Oh,
So you want like what's the scene area girl be posting, Dwayne and Whitley?
Oh
We be like,
yeah. Come on.
No, you coming right now.
I said let's go.
Oh, you say you want chicken? Nah, we going to Taco Bell.
You like that
Yeah, like I want somebody that's gonna take charge. Like
girl. So for
That's
that,
fair.
I'm rolling with that. But this is why, like,
Yeah, you wanted a rare type of nigga, a 6 foot nigga that could push you. You wanted a Pokemon.
I feel like it's normal. I feel like the average. Alright, so I'm different, and I think I can relate this to like money. You already know. Like I'm not about to let nobody tell me how to spend my money. So that's the start of it. I'm not about to let nobody tell me anything. So that goes to me in my relationship. Like, I'm not about to let no woman tell me I can do this. No, the best we can do is discuss it and work something out. But like nobody. But I'm not gonna like try to put no woman in her place because either you want to do something or you're not. Like I'm not about to. I don't care that much. To me, it's like what's that saying? You just say you can't keep somebody that don't want to be kept. You can't put somebody in their place that don't want to be put in their place. Like you gotta make me do extra work. No, act right because you like me.
So I was like I would frame it as like you wanted a leader, pretty much.
yeah,
Like a dude
You want to wear the pants.
that knew what
Yeah.
he wanted, like, and could just be like, okay, you want to be mad and yell, Nah,
I think-
not gonna do that.
I just think there's oftentimes like men might find like a woman attractive and don't want to lose her, so they just do whatever for her. It's
That's
like,
very true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think they're dumb. like, just don't get treated anyway. Can't
Okay,
do it.
so you decided that type wasn't working out for you. So kudos to you for that self-awareness.
Does your new guy put you in your place, or just not take your mess? Pretty much.
Yeah, he gonna take my mess.
I feel like that's all it takes. Let them know you ain't play. Like that's it.
But
Like
you gotta,
that's it.
be a high value man to get to that point though.
For one, and two, I think they look at it as like, okay, if he can't put me in my place, if somebody tries to harm me, how he gonna protect me? What he gonna do?
Yeah.
Nothing. All right, you can have her purse. Baby, we're okay, we're safe. He's gone. I'm gonna call the cops. You don't go over there. I paid for this purse. You skip. Scoop. So that's my thought on it.
I think partly because I have like a very strong personality, it can be intimidating some guys. I feel like.
So those guys that was timid, it seems like you were with them anyway. Like you gave them a chance.
Yeah.
What made you do that? Was it the attractiveness, or because they're over 6 foot?
Yeah, and I always felt like I had to be with somebody.
Now we get somewhere. Now
Take out the shovel.
Hey, well, that's it there, girl. That's it. Dig a little deeper. Dig a little deeper. Why did you feel that way?
Because I felt I've been through the same thing, so I'm interested to hear.
And do you still feel that way?
Not now. I feel like, I don't know, like I would just get lonely, bored, like I need to have some type of entertainment.
Dad, men were just in the
Right.
tell you that.
Dang.
Goodness gracious. And they went for it.
For real.
They went for it.
For real.
I think that's partly why. And when I love hard, so somebody can keep messing up, but it's hard for me to just let them go. You know what I'm saying? So until I
It's
get
a lot
to
of
my
ways.
breaking
To go.
point.
I'm about to say it's a lot of ways. I'll let you lead.
I'll share mine and then we can go in different directions. Because I was the same way where I was like dating heavy for a minute and I'd be like, man, like, nah, I'm not kicking with this girl no more. I'm kicking with this one, and they'd be like, bruh, like you just need to be by yourself. Like they'll tell me that all the time. Like, bruh, you just need to chill, be by yourself. I'm like, no, I'm out here trying to get in a relationship. I gotta look for it. But once I started to like fall back from like actively pursuing, like I was on all the apps, like once I started deleting that shit, women came to me. Like women I ain't DMing me and shit, like, oh shit. Like, and I think it's part when I stopped putting so much attention and energy towards trying to attract or pursue women and more on myself, it made me almost more attractive. So now they see, oh yeah, Danny is got his shit together, so I'm gonna try to get at him.
Yeah.
And it's almost, I feel like that's the more natural way to date, because a woman should be able to choose her man. Like men shouldn't just be out here trying to get every woman, because it's not realistic. So.
With that being said, could you say you don't feel like that anymore? What changed?
Once I got out of a very toxic relationship.
Girl, you're doing great with these transitions.
I want to hold. We gonna put a pin in that. We don't hear that, but I want to hear about this.
Once I got out of that relationship, because that relationship was very toxic, so I started to like question myself, like looks, everything, and then I finally I didn't take the time afterwards like I should have, but I did take time. And once I did that, I started to start feeling myself again. I'm like, okay,
So feeling yourself like you used to, or better than you used to?
I'd say better.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Cause I was about to say that. I think that's the key. I think we all sometimes go through something traumatic to grow and go to that next level as a person, and that's what it was for me. I don't remember the exact situation, but at one point I'm like, I just literally want to be left alone so I can be happy. It was to the point where this girl broke up with me, or we decided to stop talking. and I was like, well, Dad, what am I gonna do now? Because it was cool. We always laughed together. We had fun. It's like, what am I gonna do for happiness now? And as soon as I said that out loud, I'm like, yo, you're dependent on this person for happiness. And it's somebody I could never get back with. It's not like, okay, I think that's what did it. I knew we would never be a thing. So it's like, if we're gonna never be a thing, what can I do to be happy? It's like, find happiness within yourself. Or else, otherwise, you're gonna be chasing it.
Yeah.
You're gonna be trying to be with somebody, get happiness for them. But what about if they're not there? And even if they are there, I feel like other people can only supply you with so much happiness. Like, you gotta be happy for yourself before somebody else can make you whole or complete. Like, you gotta have a half, they gotta have a half. Or else,
And that's something I would tell her because I feel like she didn't give herself time to heal. She just kept jumping into a different relationship, and I told her she needed to just take a break because she's trying to fill a void with another person, but she hasn't actually healed.
I think that's the part, learning. Like, in every aspect of life, you gotta take the opportunity to sit and learn. And especially in like the social media age where like everything's just there, or even like music. Okay, this album just dropped. Okay, and this album, you don't have a chance to like process it.
Yeah.
So the same thing with a heartbreak or a failure or even a success. Like, take time to process it, so to take something from it, so then you can move forward better. Like, I think that's the key.
Toxic relationships can be good, man. In hindsight.
Depending how toxic.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah, it depends.
But all of it is a lesson, regardless
For sure,
of how
for
toxic
sure.
it is.
for sure.
It helps you to grow so you can move forward, and then it teaches you what you will and will not put up with the next relationship.
Definitely.
So, do you mind elaborating on that toxicity?
For me?
Yes. What did it teach you in the sense of how did that relationship give us this present version of Sierra?
And how long did it last? I think that's.
It was like 4.5 years.
Oh my heavens. Sorry. Like, I can't fathom being okay. So before now, like, my longest relationship was 5 months, and literally, I say that because, and these weren't even like girlfriends. He was just like, okay, we dating. If it get past 5, you might be my girlfriend. Like, I'm not built like that. To me, like, if something ain't right, if something ain't good, I had no problem with be like, nah, I'm straight. Like, why? Like, because I'm already using my time, and so if we dating, a lot of people don't believe this, but I'm using some of my money. Not all of it. I'm using some of my money. It's like, well, I'm going to keep using my time and money for nothing if I'm unhappy. Like, no, bye. Like, no, I'm going to figure out how to tell you we ain't working. This ain't for me. This ain't for you. I'm going to finesse it some way, and that's going to be that. But before, that hurts inside of me.
It's better to be that way though than to keep being back and forth with the same person. That's how I was like you. After a few months, if it ain't working, bye. Like, I didn't waste my time.
People used to bash me like, you scared of commitment and all this. And at a point, I was like, am I? Like, I really had a question. I'm like, am I? And low-key, I think a part of me was a little bit, but more so I knew though, deep down, that like, these women weren't offering me nothing. Like, they'll be like, oh, I'm so happy, you're such a great guy. I'm just like, you cool, you attractive, we have fun.
Right.
Like, I didn't get that same from them.
Like,
Like,
you'd be mad when you say that too. I had a girl say that earlier. I was like, yo, I'm giving you, but I'm not, like, you can't do nothing for
yeah,
me.
exactly. And it's no offense. That just means you're
What do you
literally
mean if
not
I do something for you?
So you know how they say, bring something to the table in a relationship, but it wasn't money, it wasn't cooking, but like if I'm with somebody and you're telling me you're so funny, you're always making me laugh, I'm so happy with you, and when I'm around you, I'm cool, I'm at peace, but like I'm not happy. Like, I'm not smiling a bunch. I'm not laughing no more than I would do with like a regular person. Like, nothing about this says relationship, this is somebody I want to go further in my life with you.
Oh.
And because of that, it's like, why am I here? Like, it's virtually, I'm giving you like a home cooked meal, and you're giving me like fast food. It's like, yeah, I guess I can eat it, but like, why am I slaving over the stove giving you all this goodness, and you're just giving me fast food? Like, it's not beneficial. I want some good food.
Yeah.
My analogies, people.
Yeah,
That was good.
Hey!
That was good.
Karen, we don't spot.
That
Moving on.
Yes.
Did you ever answer the question?
Heck no. I interrupted. She was in a toxic relationship for 4 years, and I just drew the line there.
Right.
Nah,
Go
me
ahead.
and Ro used to argue about that though, because I would literally spend so much time on one person, and she'd be like, "No, like, quit wasting your time, move on." But it's just hard to move on.
Why do you think it's so hard? I think it's comfort, but I want you to also speak on it. Weren't you in a toxic for 4 years?
Of course.
4 too? You guys have a lot to talk about. Let's get comfy.
We can't relate.
Yeah.
I think we invest so much time. You don't want to give that time up.
It's gone.
For me, it was like, but I was young, so what I thought I wanted, needed in a woman, what I thought that was like, oh, like, yeah, she's the one, was all superficial. Like, I was like, yo, like, my ex, she's fire, like.
Fire like what?
Looks wise, like, she was my ideal. You know, our families was good in the beginning, but then that her just being like, the attraction and the love being as strong as it was, but the attraction is what kept me there, as well as the comfort. So I'm like, oh, I'm in love with you because you're my ideal, what I think is my ideal at the time. So I'm accepting all this other behavior because
You're the ideal.
yeah, I think you're my ideal, so I'm gonna do whatever I can to keep it. So it took a very life-altering situation for me to even get out of that kind of like daze I was in. And like once that happened, it was like literally I woke up from a dream like, yo, I can't be doing this. Like, nah, we gotta get this now.
Is your ideal the same now, or is it as far?
Nah,
Okay.
definitely not the same. My ideal was then more just like looks, you know what I'm saying? You smart, you get a good job. Like, yeah,
That's all.
now are you thoughtful? You know?
Yeah, you get older, that's a change, like,
Right.
girl.
Are you thoughtful? If I say I'm hungry, will you send a nigga some food?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
it.
That shit go a long way, you know?
A long way.
And I mean, you still gotta be attractive too, but there are other things now. Like, are you establishing your career? Can you budget? Are you good with money? You know, do you want kids? And those are things I wasn't thinking about. So for me, it was a life altering situation that had to get me out of that.
What kept you in? Did you answer what kept you in yours?
Yeah, I was just like, when you invest so much time, you don't want to give up on it,
Yeah.
4 years is a lot, man.
Yeah.
Again, I'm in 2 years, and I think we're actually good, but we've had our ups and downs. So to think, so with that being said, I don't think it's toxic. So to think there's a toxic side of that, I can never, because even with us being good, there's been times where I'm like, look, man, I don't know, and she's been like, look, man, I don't know. So
toxic I feel like toxic has to be harmful to one. Either one person is literally like in pain, or like they're really being hurt by the other person's actions, and they just continuing to do it. Like a woman who may be manipulative, or a man who may be manipulative. Definitely a man that beats someone, that's toxic.
Well, I'll ask both of you guys. Is this your first situation since that toxic relationship?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
How, and same for you, how has it affected this relationship? Because I think sometimes if you're coming out of a toxic relationship, it's two things. You have an idea of what you never want to go through again. So you're like, okay, so maybe now you're chasing that. Also, you have an idea of like, okay, I never want to go through that again. And since that's what I went through again, I want this instead. So you're chasing, not going through that again, and the idea of what's better since you now know what's bad. Have you guys dealt with like any backlash from that? Because I think sometimes having that can sort of restrict you. Like, you're just so narrow-minded on this instead of like, you're probably gonna have another hard relationship, but that doesn't mean it's toxic, or that doesn't mean you shouldn't go through with it. Have you guys experienced that? Or?
Definitely.
Yeah, I feel like I have too. It's just a different dynamic, this new situation I'm in, because with my old situation, the first 2 years, 2.5 years, it was good, but then that's when it started, it's all good in the beginning, and then, people true colors come out, that's when things change. So, I just stuck it out, because I was like, I already invested 2.5 years, so just stick it out, it might get better. It got worse, but then I finally, got to a place where I'm like, I'm over this, and I was done with it. he wasn't done, but I was done. So I just moved on.
For me, like I know there's things that I won't ever deal with in a relationship ever again. Like if I see any sign of that, it's
Out. Peace
done,
out.
completely blocked. Leave me alone. Like
Be blessed.
Yeah. So that sense, it's made me know that I can't have a woman that like cannot control her anger, because that was an issue before. I can't like have a woman that breaks things or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I was like, toxic shit was my tolerance is high.
If somebody broke something I paid for.
Listen. So as long as you can control yourself, don't break my shit. We good.
It seems relatively easy.
What's your verbal
Every time.
abuse?
I mean, I feel like I wouldn't be with a woman that doesn't have. I feel like that's a maturity thing. Because if you're in a relationship with somebody, you know not to take it to a certain spot.
I feel like for me, that's something I'm more in tune with now than I ever have been, and I think it came from one of my past situations where like I wasn't actively listening to what the woman was saying. And this gonna sound off, but I'm gonna bring it back in. And I've given this example before. Like we started off as having fun, right? And you know, I got a little feeling, you know, I got a little feeling. But she kept wanting to have fun. So because of that, like when I'm trying to do more serious stuff, she like, oh, I gotta cancel, I can't. She'll come up with excuses. But when it was just fun stuff, she won't be down. So that went on for a while. But after that finally ended, and because she eventually told me the truth, like, no, this is just fun. We had that conversation. Now I listen when, you know, my woman says something to me, like, if I don't like it, I'm like, what do you mean by that? Why did you say that? Like, get more deep into it, because it's like, if I don't talk to you like that, don't talk to me like that. Yeah. And it ain't nothing crazy. Even if it's something like, shut up, 'cause you get on my nerves. Like, have I ever told you shut up?
Yeah.
Like, no. So, like, why are you telling me this? Because if I were to do that to you, you'll flip. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a big thing in, like, a partnership. Like, as a partner, like, don't, and just like human nature, don't do anything you wouldn't want somebody to do to you. So, like, that's me. And I do think it can be a form of verbal abuse if you let it go, you let it slide, and you don't communicate and check your partner. It's like, 'cause they don't think it's okay, they don't think it's fine, you know, so you never know.
So are you more willing to tolerate verbal versus someone breaking things?
Listen.
Y'all let me all day.
Me personally, I'm not willing to tolerate any of it. Like, don't break my stuff and watch how you talk to me. But I'm gonna tell you that. So it's up to you to. I mean, I'm not gonna say you break something now. I'm flipping, and you don't get in okay, I lied. Like if you break my phone, like anything of value, like. I think everything I have is valuable to me. If I ain't got paid for it, like, I don't think it's anything you can break down and be like, unless it was an accident, but to be like, I hate you and break something, I think you gotta go. But like, the verbal, my bad, the verbal is like, all right, you said this, maybe you realize it. Maybe you're just talking out of emotion. But either way, you gotta check yourself. Like, if I was to say something out of anger, check me so I can realize, like, that was wrong, there's a line. And you don't treat somebody you love and care about that way. You're not supposed to. That's for the outside, because the world's mean enough. So, like, you're not supposed to treat the inside like that. So, neither for me. I got a little tolerance. With my 5-month limit. No. Have y'all dealt with verbal abuse?
Yeah.
What you guys do? What you do? To overcome, do you just deal with it, or do you talk to them about it, or?
Yeah, of course I, said something about it, but I realized that when someone is like always downing you, disrespecting you, this and that, it's insecurity and stuff within themselves. So once I realized that, and then got my mojo back, I was like, I'm good. Like,
that's for real.
It is.
But if you're not strong-minded, that type of stuff can really mess with you.
Yeah, that is true.
I think even if you are strong-minded, like if you hear stuff enough, like it can get to you, like, and that just goes back to taking time to process and like all right, they said this about me 5 different times. Like, is it true? Nah, I'm good. I know I'm good. Like, but if you don't take that time, you just go with it, or you act out of emotion too. I got the little yoga emoji. He will troll. Anybody else in my group chat will troll. And anytime, there's plenty of times I'm typing a message out, I'm like, man, this is just gonna lead to more back and forth. And low-key, he's not gonna admit it. I don't think they're ever gonna admit it. But I feel like they know I will react. So they do this stuff on purpose. At first I just thought it was natural, like Dan did this, so we gonna get on him. But nah, I think, man, I'm bored. Let me get on this nigga. So that's my thing. But now, like, I be putting the emoji. They be trying, but I go to that emoji every single time, man. Every single time, man. Peace, not war.
Before we wrap up, I want a question for you and both of you. Through your relationships that you're in now, what would you tell a person that was in your same position? What piece of advice would you give them? That they're in a toxic relationship, or if they're struggling to get past that 5-month mark, what would you tell them to reassure them?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go.
If they're in a toxic relationship, I'll say get out. I know.
Easy.
I'm about to say I know it's easier said than done. I just think anybody, whether you're trying to get a 5-month hump, 2-year hump, toxic relationship, you're questioning yourself. I think take time with yourself and communicate with yourself, communicate with your partner, and wait for the results if there any. You know what I'm saying? If it's in a toxic relationship, you ask somebody to do something, they're not doing it, then listen to yourself. Let that be your cue. If you're in a 5-month relationship and it's working, listen to yourself and allow it to continue to work. If it's not working, listen to yourself and allow yourself to cut it off. But I think people say all the time, communication is key. It's layers to communication. You have to learn to listen. You have to learn how to comprehend not only what the other person is saying, but what you're saying. Like, is it just your mind? Is it your heart? What is it? Where is it coming from? Like, break it down in order to give yourself that chance. Otherwise, you're just going to be going until you can't go no more, for better or for worse. So, evaluation and listening.
Okay.
That's what I got.
Nice.
For me, whether it's a toxic relationship or 5-month relationship and trying to figure out if you should continue in it, for me it's prayer. I go to God about everything, whether any type of big decision. And one thing that I took from my dad that made it easy for me to move on versus her is he always would tell us, like, if you're done with the relationship, move on. Because she would try to still be friends with the person, still keep in contact. Whereas with dad would always tell us, like, just break it off, remove them completely. Don't try to keep a friendship or anything going. And also be private, like, take a break from social media, because social media will send you into depression and make things worse, especially when you see other happy couples, per se.
You know what that
and
is.
it makes you think, so I always try to get away from social media, take a break from that, and then I just try to pray and seek some type of answer from God, whether it's to continue in a relationship or to get rid of a relationship. That's the biggest thing for me.
I like that.
Prayer is good. I use it all the time.
And less social media.
For sure.
Yeah, I would say.
Less Twitter. No, I'm joking.
Yeah,
I'm just joking. Like, I think Twitter's fine.
I just retweet just a tweet. But I would say know your worth. If you know your worth, you'll know what you'll tolerate, what you'll deal with.
What you deserve.
Yeah, what you deserve. And I would say quality over quantity. Because it don't matter if you're with that person 5-10 years, you can meet somebody that gives you what you wanted within a couple months than that person that you've been with for years. So I would just say realize your worth and, do whatever makes you happy and the right decision for yourself.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, thank y'all for coming on. It was a pleasure.
What was yours? What's yours?
Right.
You asking us what's yours?
Are you happy in your relationship journey right now?
Me?
Yes.
Very happy in my relationship.
Very happy. How did you get to that place of happiness?
From knowing what, let me see, how can I phrase this?
I'm slipping.
I would say knowing who I am as a man and being completely comfortable with who I am.
Knowing your worth.
Yeah. So I don't care like what people think about me anymore. I don't care to impress people anymore. And I think that the women that I am now attracting are attracted by that. So before I was, like I said, chasing because I thought that was my value. But my value is really just being one with myself. Like, I'm completely cool by myself, or I can be cool with the person. So that has led me into the point where I am now, where I can see myself in a relationship, but I just don't know when. Don't know when it's gonna happen.
In due time, brother.
Yeah, it'll happen. You know, I can see myself now start to settle down on the back end of the 20s, you know. So on the back end, so
He's in the 30s. He don't want to tell us.
but yeah, for 4 years ago me, I would just tell myself to listen to my friends, because like I had niggas telling me like, yo, bro, get out, like, nah, this is not normal. And I was so blinded by what other people thought, and that, like, other people's image of me, like, oh, man, he got the good looking girl, like, he got a good job. Like, I was so wrapped into that, so I was like, I can't not have this, because that's gonna decrease who I am as a person. When really, my niggas still fuck with me because I'm me.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was saying. It's ironic that people that like cared about you was telling you this, but you was trying to appease the people that
didn't even
Right.
know.
or did. Yeah, like.
So I would just tell myself, fuck everybody else, you know.
It's a good answer, man.
Thank
I'm
you.
happy you're there.
Thank you.
Happy you're not in a toxic relationship.
Yeah. Cheers to black love, man.
Black
love.
This has been an episode of Living with Danny Danny, presented by Danny Danny Enterprises.